Good morning and welcome back to week 2, day 9 of my 30-day challenge. 30 soft is what I am referring to it as. If you're thinking this looks very similar to what it looked like at the end of week number 1, that's because it is basically exactly the same as it was at the end of week 1. It's been about 20 minutes. I think I went. It's been 20 minutes. I should remember what I did. It's been about 20 minutes since I just filmed the outro for week 1, and I am back here. I just went into the kitchen and did my washing up and everything and made my now classic staple breakfast of avocado and cream cheese on a bagel. Very tasty. These are different bagels though. I have now the sesame seed bagels. So I don't know, could be different. They didn't toast as nicely as the previous bagels. So they're off to a bad start. I promised I would do a bit of a reading update at the start of this vlog, so I was about to say where better to start, but I should probably actually start with what this is. So I'm doing a 30-day habit building challenge. If you want to follow along with all of the rules, I will link the rules video up in this thing. But basically I have a bunch of rules. Some of them are health related, some of them are lifestyle, happiness related, and some of them are just habit forming. Some of them I have things like trying to cycle for 10 minutes every day for my health. I have eating breakfast every day because I am really bad at eating breakfast, eating a piece of fruit every day. And then I also have things like reading 2 chapters of a book every day and cleaning for 15 minutes every day. And then I also have a couple of weekly ones thrown in, taking a weekly progress photo, trying to make a weekly step goal, all of those sorts of things thrown in there. I'm really bad with habits, I'm really bad with my health, so I'm just trying to start the year off right by sorting out a few of those things. So I've just realized I don't actually have the book that I finished. I'm gonna go grab the book. So excuse the hair. I did get my fringe trimmed on the weekend. I forgot to mention that in the week 1 vlog. I got my fringe trimmed on Saturday. It's still maybe a little bit too long. It's definitely shorter than it was, which is good. It was getting very much in my eyes. But time for a reading update. I believe the last time I updated anything on any reading, I was still reading The Ballad of Never After. I have now finished this. I think I finished it in like 3 days. Not that it was like super unputdownable. It was a really good book. I gave it 4 stars. It's by Stephanie Garber, part of the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. I'm really enjoying these books, like so much more than I was expecting to. But, you know, it's not the most action-packed, exciting sort of book. I just had a good weekend of just chilling out and reading for a couple of hours here and there. Sat down and lit a candle and sat on the bed and read for a couple of hours on Sunday afternoon. And yeah, various just times where I was reading, which is definitely not normal, but I really liked. It was good. It was good fun. So I really enjoyed this book. This one follows Evangeline, of course, and Jax as they are trying to fix a curse that has been put on Apollo. I don't want to share too much more than that because it may be spoilers for Once Upon a Broken Heart. If you haven't read that, I don't want to spoil that for you, but very good book if you enjoyed Once Upon a Broken Heart. I think this one is probably a little bit better even than Once Upon a Broken Heart. Very good book, not like 5 stars. It's still a little too little kid fairy tale, surface level sort of fantasy. Like, it's obviously not a proper fantasy. It's good fun, little bit fantasy. It would be really good for people who aren't fantasy readers. Definitely would recommend for people who are usually like romance or literary fiction type readers. This would be a good one to, I don't know, try to get into fantasy, to get close to fantasy but not actually have to get into fantasy. Would recommend. So since finishing The Ballad of Never After, I have actually started A Curse for True Love. This cover is the reason that I bought this entire series. It is so beautiful. I love these colours. Like, obviously the Once Upon a Broken Heart and Ballad of Never After books are very pretty as well. They're very cute, but they're the pinks. I'm not a big pink person. This, on the other hand, this is very much my sort of colours, and yeah, absolutely gorgeous. I needed to own this book, so I had to read the first two as well. But I am, halfway through this one? A little bit over halfway through A Curse for True Love. Still very much enjoying this. I'm definitely not going to say, I don't think I can say anything about this one because it's very much spoilers for the end of book 2 of basically everything that's going on in here, but we're still just following Evangeline and Apollo and Jax as they figure out what is going on with their lives and deal with curses and stuff. So yeah, would definitely recommend. I have heard some concerning things about the ending of this book. A lot of people saying that it didn't end the way they expected, which definitely has me quite nervous to be finishing this book. We're gonna finish it. We gotta finish it. We gotta find out what happens, whether or not people are saying it because there's one small thing that happens that they didn't quite expect, or whether or not it, for me, comes out okay because of the way it's written and the way it progresses. I don't know what doesn't end well, or doesn't end the way people wanted it to end, but we're gonna find out. So yeah, that's what I'm currently reading. That's my current reading update, I guess. I put a couple of books on hold at the library for my Goodreads award winner book reading project, I guess you could call it. But I am 40th in line for one of them, and I think 14th in line for the other. So I don't know how that's gonna go. I may end up having to buy more of those books than I would have liked. The worst part is with the series and I could put the second book on hold, but I don't want the second book to be ready before the first book is ready. You know? I think you can put a hold on your hold. I don't know, I've never actually put a book on hold at the library before, so we're figuring all of this out as we go. But I did also decide to forgo the non-fiction books from the Goodreads award winners. There's definitely some non-fiction reading that I want to do this year, but it's more along the lines of self-improvement type stuff, rather than what the Goodreads award winners were, which one was just a history book, which actually sounded pretty interesting. One was a history book, one was a political look at America, which this is Australia, not America, so it would have been interesting to read, but was not high on my list of wants to read. And the other one was the Britney Spears memoir, which didn't really appeal to me that much anyway. And the last one was Being Henry, which I already read. So I've decided to leave off the non-fictions, but I am still going to try to read all of the fiction books. The problem being that a couple of them are in series, so I have to read 4 extra books on top of what the winners are. So we're going to see how that goes. I'm going to try to do that over the next 6 months is sort of my plan, to fit those in and still be able to read things that I actually want to read around that. That's the plan. I have some possible TBR video ideas coming up for start of Feb, so stay tuned for those if you enjoy this book sort of content. I also did grab the Dimmicks Reading Challenge thing. I don't know what you call this list. It's kind of like a bookmark, but not quite a bookmark. So this has 8 prompts on it as well, which I may or may not try to get to throughout January to March. There are definitely a couple that I can already tick off from the things that I have read this year and am currently reading. So TBR Hangover Cure, Fourth Wing was definitely on my TBR for a lot of 2023. It was one that I wanted to read throughout most of the year, so I will tick that one off there. I'm going to do A Curse for True Love as my aesthetic appetizer. And then I don't know if I can count Ballad of Never After as a whirlwind romance. But perhaps. I don't know. I will see how we're going, if anything else comes up throughout the next couple of months for options for reading these. But yeah. I also started on my Instagram, I've started a story highlights of all of the reviews of the books that I'm reading. So hopefully as I finish a book, I will post it as a story on my Instagram and then add it to my highlights. So if you want to stay more updated on what I am currently reading, you can check that out over on my Instagram, which is linked down below. So yeah, let's get on with our day. I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna have my breakfast, and I'm going to do my 2 chapters. I don't think I ever actually shared what my skincare routine is, just that I'm trying to do my skincare routine. It's pretty damn basic, I'll be honest. I asked my friends what I needed and they gave me 3 things that were their absolute necessaries. So I have a cleanser. I'm using this super cheap Kinsey Even Complexion cleanser at the moment. It's getting empty though, so I'm gonna have to get a new one soon. That's what I'm currently using. I do that in my mornings. I'm trying to do it in my mornings anyway. Sorry for this camera angle set up for the actual skincare. Yeah, do this in my mornings. I have my cute little headband that keeps my fringe out of the way. I fill the sink up with way too much water because it takes that long for the water to get to the right temperature. So I promise I'm not wasting water. I'm gonna do my cleanser right now. I have to do everything with my glasses off so I can't see a damn thing. I can't see, but maybe this looks interesting. Both don't have my glasses on and can't open my eyes. And then the other thing that I do in the mornings is put on some face sunscreen. This is the Mecca Max Screen Saver, they call it, which to me just sounds like my computer went to sleep. But I have this screensaver, so I put a little bit of that on in the mornings. Usually usually is a strong word. I try to do this in the mornings before I go to work. So that is all that I do in the mornings for my skin routine. The only other thing I do is I do some moisturizer at night. Let me go grab my moisturizer. So yes, in the evenings when I sit down and do my last little bit of reading before I go to bed, I use my moisturizer. This is another one of the very cheap Kinsey Even Complexion lotion. This is very nearly empty. This is very low. It's weird pink. I don't particularly like this moisturizer, I'll be honest. So I'm gonna be getting a new one of those probably actually tomorrow when I'm back in the office. I am working today, but it's a work from home day. So I'm still at home this morning, but it is getting close to time to start work. So I'm gonna have to go set up my laptop and get ready to do some work. But I will catch you guys back at lunchtime where I'll do my weekly progress photo. That's not actually a photo, it's just a video. But I'll come back with that for you guys. Anyway, that's my skincare routine, and yeah, I'll come back to you guys later in the day. It's time for the weekly progress photo portion of this week's vlog. Obviously, I do more of a video for this, both for you guys and for myself. I did a portrait. Yes, this is landscape. I did a portrait one for myself as well last week, but it was still a video. I didn't just take a photo, I did a video. But that's how I take most of my photos these days. Ever since I went on my cruise and was vlogging it, I realized how much of a great way of doing it is to take a video and then just grab stills from the video to use as your photos for the things that you want, because then you can really pick and choose which bits you thought you looked best in. So that's great. I just turned the fan down because I didn't want it sounding super loud during this video, and now it's hot, so we're gonna do this quick. You're gonna have to lower the camera, but I will take a step back and you guys can see how I'm doing. I don't think much has changed, but we'll take a look anyway, because that is the goal. I don't have space to do my fun arm thing here. Go this way. Ta-da! And that had a lot of slouch in it though, so that probably made me look worse. But here you go. Does this side look more fun? This side looks more fun. So there you go, that is how I'm looking today on this Tuesday, day 9 of my 30-day challenge. Again, like I said, I don't think a lot has changed. It's obviously a bit harder for me to tell because I was looking at a tiny screen quite a few steps away from myself. So I don't know, maybe it looked different, maybe it didn't. I will have to compare the videos at some point. And then, yeah, let's go jump on the scales. And then that might be all that I have for you guys today. Don't think there's going to be much more going on. I'm just working for the rest of the day. Oh, I am making a dinner tonight that's supposed to be a healthy chicken burger dinner. I will try to film that. And I will just put the footage in here as part of my sped up montage that I'm doing for a lot of these videos. But yeah, that's it for today. I'll probably check in again tomorrow morning with a quick little update of how I'm doing and show you all my breakfast, which is probably going to be my bagel with avocado and cream cheese again, as it has been every day for the last week, because it's great. Let's go do that. Wait. Oh good, I've put on weight. Good morning, everyone. It is now day 12 of my 30-day challenge. I've been a terrible vlogger this week. I've missed the last couple of days. There was construction happening at our place on Wednesday, and yesterday I just woke up not feeling it. You know, I thought it was actually going to be a terrible day for my 30-day challenge, but when I got home in the afternoon, I managed to pull it all back in. I think I did everything in the end yesterday. Wednesday, I think I did almost everything. I might have missed the 15 minutes of cleaning on Wednesday. We're working backwards in time here. Tuesday, I think I did everything except Simon decided to bring me like a caramel espresso martini on Tuesday afternoon as I was finishing work, and look, he went to all the trouble of making it. I couldn't say no. So I did break my no alcohol rule once again. So that one hasn't been going great, but anyway. We had the chicken burgers on Tuesday night. I filmed me making them. They were pretty good. They were pretty tasty. They weren't amazing, but they were like a low-calorie chicken burgers, so they were pretty healthy. And the sweet potato chips that I made in the air fryer were very tasty. We're probably going to make those again at some point as just like a snack instead of potato chips crisps. So yeah, I'm here again this morning. I finished my book. I did finish The Curse for True Love. I still enjoyed this book. It wasn't quite as good as the second one, I would say. First and third were sort of the lower ones, and the second one was really good. Still gave it 4 stars. It was still a very enjoyable book. I was a little confused about everyone. I feel like I've heard so many people say that it didn't end the way they expected it to, but the ending of this book ends how I expect it to in all of the important ways. As spoilery as I can get without giving any spoilers. The actual ending is totally fine. I think what most people are talking about when they say that is that the book in general takes a little bit of a different path. We split into a few different perspectives. There's a few things that change about the circumstances that we're in. I don't want to spoil anything, obviously. I was not disappointed by the ending of it. And I still thought it was a really good book, really fun to read, very enjoyable for all the same reasons that the previous ones were. Just sort of missing out on a couple of things that would have been nice to have more of a focus on. And I have since been reading Yellowface. So this is one of the Goodreads Choice Awards winners that I am trying to read my way through this year. I did say a bit more about what it was about in the last vlog, so if you aren't sure what it's about, you can check it out there. But yeah, June has stolen Athena's book and has published said book and is trying to make herself rich and famous off of someone else's work. And my goodness, does Rebecca F. Kwong do a fantastic job of writing a terrible character but making it good. It's first person from June's perspective, and June is just, she's a terrible person. She is racist but just continually justifying to herself that she's not actually racist, and she's a terrible friend but continually justifying to herself that she's not actually a terrible friend, and a terrible writer but continually justifying to herself that she's a terrible writer. But her justifications suck. None of her justifications are good or correct. They're just what she's justifying for herself. So yeah, it's very interesting to read that. I don't know how she does it. You know? Anyway, I've been reading Yellowface. I'm quite enjoying it. It's a much slower read than my recent reads, and it has pretty long chapters, so my 2-chapter a day is struggling a little bit. I just made it last night at like 10:30 last night. I think I finished my 2nd chapter. But yeah, we'll see how this goes, but I am enjoying it so far. I do have my trusty avocado and cream cheese bagels. Sounds like somebody might be arriving in our driveway right now to do some more construction work, so I'm going to sign off from the talking section of this vlog and do some eating and some reading for a little bit. I'm also moving very slowly this morning. Oh my gosh, very slowly. So I gotta get a move on. That's it for my Friday update. It is Friday. I don't think I mentioned it's Friday. It's casual Friday at work. I don't know if other countries do casual Friday or if that's just an Australian thing. You can just wear whatever you want to work on Friday. I will try to be good about vlogging over the weekend, but we'll see how that goes. Let me eat my breakfast and do some reading. Good morning. It is now Sunday, which is day 14. I've had a pretty unproductive weekend and moderately unsuccessful for my challenge. I haven't been doing the best, but that's okay. It's the weekend. It's chill out time. But more importantly, we are about to head out this morning. We are going out to the Fairytale exhibit that they have on at the Gallery of Modern Art, also known as GOMA here in Brisbane. So yeah, Simon and I are about to head out for that. So I just wanted to take some video of that happening and actually have a bit of an explanation of what it is instead of just random clips being thrown in here. So we're going to do that. I'm going to come home this afternoon, try to be a bit more productive in the afternoon. It's like 9:30 this morning. So far I've washed my clothes and hung them out, and that's about it. Try to be a little bit productive when I get home this afternoon, and yeah, that'll be basically it for the weekend. So let's get going. Good morning and happy Tuesday as I close out this vlog that finished on Sunday. This is probably going to be pretty standard, I'll be honest. It's easier for me to close them out on Tuesdays when I'm working from home than it is to do it on Sundays when I am still doing things throughout the day and when Simon's around. So what happened over the weekend? I did pretty well with most of my stuff over the weekend. I was not very good at doing my specifically morning routine stuff, so I didn't have breakfast either days of the weekend. I don't think I did my skincare in the mornings. I did do my skincare in the shower on Sunday, but I don't think I did it at all on Saturday. But honestly, I can't even remember. But I did achieve my step goal this week, so that was exciting. I did over 20,000 steps for the week, which didn't take a whole lot of effort, which is pretty good. Like, I don't think I would have got it if we hadn't have gone to the museum on Sunday, because that involved quite a bit of walking. So I was probably under that if I'd just stayed at home not doing anything on Sunday. So that's probably a good amount to sort of be aiming for, is that it's not difficult for me to achieve, but I do actually have to do more than just walking to and from work every day. So not that I walk to work, walking to the bus and then walking around the office and then walking from the bus. But my sort of half-formed goal that I have is to slowly increase that amount every month so that I'm being more active, doing more walking on the weekends, that sort of stuff throughout the months. So I think this is a good starting point for January. That was my weekend. It went pretty well. I didn't feel very productive in general over the weekend, but I did do most of my goals, so that is good. I'm happy with that. I also finished another book. I technically only finished it last night. It feels nice for my brain to close this book out in this vlog and then discuss the new book that I'm going to be reading in the new vlog, which I haven't 100% decided on yet, but I'm going to be recording the new vlog intro in like 20 minutes, so I'm gonna have to figure it out real quick. But the book that I finished is Yellowface. I realized it's matching my chair in the background here. Very nice. I have finished Yellowface by Rebecca F. Kwong. This book wasn't written for me. I'm finding it difficult to decide on a rating. I did only finish it last night, so rating may change. I think I'm gonna have to go with 3 stars. I'm somewhere between 3 and 4 stars because it was very well written. It was a beautiful book, very well written. Really enjoyed that part of it. I really enjoyed the first quarter to a third of the book, but then it was just quite slow throughout most of the rest of it. The end was good as well, like it picked up in the last couple of chapters, but anywhere between those 2 points was a bit slow, which is fine. It wasn't supposed to be anything quick, but it was a very good book. I'm not enough into the political sphere and up on all of the correct ways of saying things and knowing exactly what this book means, and I won't comment on the entire meaning and how I should be, what lessons I was supposed to have learnt from this book, because it will probably just be wrong. But I really enjoyed it. It was very interesting to read this character that is such a terrible person, and you as the reader should, I think, again, not wanting to comment too much on the political stuff of it, but you're supposed to know that she's a terrible person. Like, she's not a good person. She's a terrible person. She's racist. She's a terrible friend, and she's constantly excusing herself for that. This is written in first person, so you're from her perspective, and yeah, she is a terrible person. I don't know when it happened. Somewhere along the line, I started feeling bad for her and wanting her to succeed. When I started the book, I was just like, this chick sucks. I don't care if she gets exposed and everything is ruined for her. But as it gets towards the end, I'm like, oh, I don't know how this is gonna end. Is it gonna end good for her? Is it gonna end bad for her? And why do I now care if it ends bad for her? Good book, enjoyable, but I think I have to give it 3 stars because I'm not gonna read it again. It was a bit slow to read, and towards the end I was just wanting it to be finished. So 3 stars, I think, for that one. But it's between 3 and 4. It's very well written. I'm definitely gonna have to pick up some of R.F. Kwong's fantasy work. I know she has a couple of very well received fantasy books and series as well, so I'll definitely have to pick those up because I very much enjoyed the writing. So yeah, that is my reading update for ending off this vlog. I don't even remember when I started that book. Did I start that book in this vlog? I hope so, because I haven't talked anything about what this book is, so hopefully you know what this book that I'm talking about is about. If not, Goodreads. Check it out on Goodreads. You can follow me on Goodreads too. My link is below. I usually post what I'm reading and occasionally how far through the books I am and my ratings at the end at some point. Probably not on the actual day, but sometime. So that is it for week 2 of my 30 soft challenge. This has become more of a reading vlog than my habit building challenge, but thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll be back with week 3 of my 30-day challenge in well, it'll be a week for you guys. It'll be just a few minutes for me. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can come back for week 3 and you can find out all about what it is that I'm about to start reading. Thanks and goodbye.